Alrighty, are we live? Dick, are we live? Are we live in his ass? Are we live? Alrighty, we are live in his ass. So let's get started. Get the tablet set up. Live chat. Alright, let's get started. We are live. Yo, this BROTHA with a one-man show. Coming at you with a remix. We all want cash. We all want to be wealthy. Here comes my intro. Yo, when it comes to women, I'm selfish. I don't want to share them. I want to be rich so I can own a harem. Most brothers can't satisfy one. Shucks, give me 5 and I'll make them all come. Shoot, give me 6 or 7 and I'll be in heaven. But ain't nobody in this world wants to give me nothing. To get something, you have to earn it or take it. The ends justify the means, so take it any way you can get it. Don't sweat how, just get it. I want to die in Baltimore, but not poor. I want to be chilling with my minions on the eastern shore or the suburbs of DC. Yo, nod your head if you're feeling me. I don't want an apartment or braggy go home. I want 5 acres so my seed can roam the prairie. And I can have parties and mad cookouts. See, that's what I'm talking about. Some say I'm never satisfied, the truth, but you can always be better. So realize, wake up and smell the coffee. I'm getting that man joke off me. I refuse to label all my life as I wrote. That's not a joke, but that's the lifestyle of my black folks. Unless you got talent, and that's no guarantee. You got to have smart, a lot of heart, and that describes me, yo. I wanna make $1 million, have money spilling, God willing, I'm gonna make it. And no man, no government, no army is ever gonna take it. Yo, I ain't trying to front, money is what I want. I wanna be rich, so when I come outside, I see oak trees, 9 bottles, bums, and bags of debris. Yo, I need to make $1 million. I know y'all feeling this. Yo, if you ain't down, you can't get with this. Check out this hit, check out the rhymes I spit. I'm setting it off, doing my own thing, blasting off. I'm my own boss, I want to make $1 million and be filthy rich. I want gold, I want to roll, but I'm not willing to sell my soul. I can't throw a football or possess the height to dunk. Can't box like Tyson, but I ain't no punk. I want to be iced out, surrounded by girls. I want to tame the world. Be a community activist on a nationwide level. High five to keep me out of trouble because it follows me wherever I go, because when a road grows, I will try to slow down. A brother who reaches for the stars I want it all. A mansion, a business, and fancy cars, one for each day of the week, with the tinted windows so you hoes and bros can't peek. And who I'm riding with, I'll be sitting off the couch. I be talking picking faces, the Alps and Jamaica be the faces. I visit for vacation. I want a maid and a butler to be my personal slave, and I will be for those who need help. When I get rich, I won't keep it all to myself. Yo, I need to make $1 million, have money spilling, God willing, I'm gonna make it, and no man, no governor will ever take it. Yo, I ain't trying to front, money is what I want. I'm trying to get rich, yo. When I come outside, I want to see oak trees, not bottles, bumps, and bags of debris. Yo, I need to make $1 million. Yo, I wanna be rich so I can hit every bit in the lane. I want to find a cure for AIDS so I can stay laid. Brothers want to stay paid, but I want to be wealthy with my financial worries. I want to be buried in a tomb near a lagoon or pond. I wish I had a magic wand, and with one wave, my troubles would be gone. And no one close to me would ever shed a tear. 1970 was a good year, I know, because that's the year I was born. My mom's name was DERRICK, which is the device that drove all our money maker. That wasn't that nice, so I was destined to have care right from the start. And when my mom died, you know it broke my heart, because I was barely paying the rent. So now my time is spent plotting, scheming, and dreaming of hitting it big, one planning for another. So for me, my family, and my mother, yo, I need to make $1 million. That's what I'm talking about, yo. I ain't trying to die broke, you know what I'm saying? So check it out, yo. I need to make $1 million, have money spilling, God willing, I'm gonna make it. And no man, no army or government is ever gonna take it. Yo, I ain't trying to front. Money is what I want. I wanna be rich so when I come outside I can see oak trees, not bottles, bumps, and bags of debris. You know what I'm saying? That city like, yo, I need to make $1 million. Come on. I don't want to die poor in Baltimore. Come on. I want a mansion on the eastern shore or Ocean City. That be a nice beach house. Come on. Right up going over and we can get down. Come on. Pound for pound, I'll take francs, pesos, whatever. Come on. I just need $1 million. Go there with a one-man show with a remix. I'm gonna let this play out. You on the back of the cab, whether you know your head to this.
4K, down sample the 2K, Dolby Digital, 5.1, Atmos. Turn your speakers up. Let's go. Come on. Welcome to the Minister Bubba Derrick Show. And I'm going to tell y'all, my sleep habits are so messed up, I don't know how long we're going to be able to do this. By special request, I was asked to come here, so we are here. And we are here early. How y'all doing today? What's going on in the his ass? We got a lot of stuff to get to. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. But for my people that were there with me during the mobile live, I know that was a cruddy picture. So for those people that rode with me, y'all know that I ordered the mount for the bike. Y'all know I ordered that mount. We got a lot of stuff to get to. But let's get this out the way first. Okay? Let's get this out the way first. Not long. We can get it off the PC. Let's get it on video. Let's see how this went. Live stream during the day.
So did that right? Well, I guess that's going right. Alright. Y'all see you got the 360-degree camera in full effect.
Damn, my stomach hanging.
We got the Samsung. And
we gonna have to hit the gym.
The body mount. If y'all want to see, can y'all see? It's on the mount. And it's not straight. Now, I'm going to switch it. And I might regret doing this. We're going to switch it. I don't like it that way. We're going to turn it so that the camera faces this way. Okay?
Alright, let's speed up to the right.
And hopefully, nope.
Now y'all see the cord right there. See how the cord was already frayed? It broke going to the good McDonald's. So I just had to spend $4 ordering another one. It'll be here Sunday, of course.
I might have to take it off.
Come on, get started.
Really doing enough for me. But at least it's not forcing me off. Alright, y'all ready to roll? Alright, let's get the road turned.
Let me add some bass.
It always takes me a few minutes to get my balance back. I don't know why. Guess it's starting to be old. You know somebody coming. Come on. Sit over there on the sidewalk. I saw 2 cars. Where that was car at? I know I saw 2 cars. Now somebody want to come. No fail.
Y'all always talking about content. Well, here's some content. 360-degree video.
Shit went down Homestead. It is ridiculous. And not only is car coming, I mean, these some big trucks. That ain't coming down the little street though. She said, where you got to go? Get out the damn neighborhood.
Look at that clear picture. Something wrong, but let's make it to the street first. Something definitely went wrong. Alright, go ahead. Well, ain't no connection. Too high. See, I had it lower, but I'm going. How about now? How does it look now? Y'all see how retarded I look? I got the same shirt on. No, I don't. This is the shirt that I had on yesterday. This is great. This is sky blue I'm wearing. I got it on the screen. But this is what I had on yesterday. Ralph Lauren polo shirt. Where the horsey at? There's the horsey right there. Now you can see. This got a blue horse. That horse is blue. This horse is yellow. So if I make a video, see how they say, God damn! I would've just gotten the other lane. Hey. This gave me the sorriest fool that I've seen in my damn life. Why you keep showing me? What do you have in the picture? I got the same shirt on that I got in that video right now. Yesterday we had a gray shirt on. Both of them Ralph Lauren polo. But I'm wearing sky blue today. But I just happened to look, it looked gray in the picture. It's not gray. It's a sky blue. Too bad it won't live stream. Maybe I should get an iPhone. Y'all see I'm pedaling. Y'all can see right here the cord broke. See how it's already frayed? Look at how the camera moving. I mean, look how the phone going up and down from the bumps. And you see the phone is on my chest, it's bouncing. You can see it bouncing. So even when it's on my chest, it's still bouncing. How you doing? Hey, you get a job. Yeah, I work very long. Huh? Over there? Okay. Oh God, have me leave right there. That's all good. All right, y'all gonna be looking at the wall. That's fast forward. Y'all gonna be looking at the wall. See? Fast forward. All right, I'm putting the stuff in the bag, in the backpack. Yeah, but people think because of the way you look, they can just do it. And then when you come busting in the back of their head, they ain't got nothing to say. They only want to press charges. Who wants to go on the knees and say you got beat up by feet?
Music.
That's why I put it on the witch-con. And I got the check now. But still not showing that. Everybody talking about the bike. This is the one. They're going to only get the 12 now.
Get out of here.
All you got to do is type in square crime. But this is going to sell for 300 right now.
No.
300?
That thing is worth it.
I got a mobility scooter, and I got it right here.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
You got
This will go 4 miles per hour. This go 13.
Get out of here.
What would you rather have?
This?
Man, it takes me 5 minutes to ride down here. 25 minutes on the scooter. Come in again. Now that's up right there. Oh, that sounds like a commercial. Get on them. Get your head. Alright, now we're good. Alright, time to roll. We want to make sure y'all can see. Let's go. Let's take out the kickstand. Yes, I did. Let's go. They didn't go. Okay. Very nice.
Woo! Rolling. Now let him go and look what happened. Bang! Look at that. Wait on me. Saying, come on out there, fat boy. Saying, come on out there, fat boy. Look at that sorry Wendy's. I could have made Dick slow.
Look at this shit.
That's how I walk, raggedy. I got stuck. I got stuck in the thing.
Let's go.
I want to pause here for a second. If y'all watch The Corner, DeAndre was working at a restaurant. That restaurant used to be this building. I forgot what it was, but it used to be this building. Anybody remember where DeAndre in The Corner on HBO? We've shown the movie a couple times. Anybody remember what restaurant this was? I think this was Champs. But in Maryland, it ain't called Champs. It's called something else. You know, you got the Champs burger, and they got the hot dogs, and there's no inside. You go up to the window, and then you sit down. Well, they turned this into a McDonald's. And I haven't been here in all 4 years, almost. I haven't been to McDonald's in 4 years.
What's that? I don't have handicapped something. I see that. Okay.
Well, they got the McDonald's closed off. Y'all ain't seeing nothing but the wall. We can fast forward. And look at them. They're looking at the bike. Y'all see that, right? They looking at the bike. Well, I'm sitting there watching. That McDonald's is slow. Let's fast forward. Hey, y'all see me? I'm in there talking. No matter where I am, I'm gonna be in there talking. I'm going. Alright, so let's fast forward. Alright, now y'all see the piece right there. Look underneath the phone. Look at the Bluetooth speaker right there.
Got it the wrong way.
We're gonna break it. Going through this door somehow.
Pull Bessie on out. Come on.
Somehow we broke the cord. I don't know how.
Backpack on.
So I'm looking.
It's looking difficult to pull out Bessie.
Oh, it's still on there.
Come on, Bessie.
There it is.
I'll make sure I tell them to get a knife and fork.
Y'all got the real deal.
So it fell down.
We got the old 50-50.
Well, y'all see it's still dangling. But I didn't know that. It's right there. I was ready to pull off.
Uh-oh.
Where's the speaker? It's dangling right there.
This phone? Hold on, y'all. We lost the Bluetooth speaker. Wait a minute. Did I leave it in there? I could buy another one. God damn.
They got a J Balvin.
Thank you. Where is the Bluetooth speaker? There it is.
It fell. It broke. See it?
I found it. Yep. They got put in the drawer. It's what see now. But it got charged on it, right? Memory card even popped up. Alright.
Music.
So we got to buy a new cord. Well, the room.
That cord was fraying anyway.
We got to buy a new cord, y'all.
So I ain't that mad.
Y'all gotta do something. Every time we come out, something breaks.
Alright, let's ride. Let's ride. Alright, it was uphill, now we're going downhill. Look how raggedy the street is, y'all. Whoa, look at that. Look at that raggedy street. Come on. I better roll the street. Ain't no cars coming, shit. Woo!
It ain't that.
This camp would be pretty good, even on a bump. We ride no bricks.
We go there?
It's the street I fell on. Where that bump at? Oh, we already passed it. Whee! Time to go uphill. Got a pedal now. sometimes down. Sometimes you feel level to the ground. We fella. Get that exercise, fat boy. Get that exercise. I told y'all on the Hangouts on both channels. I don't know. Hold on a second. I hit up again. I gotta do some sit-ups. I ain't even gonna give him a chance. I need to lose some weight. God is hanging. It's hanging and banging. That supposed to be the problem we supposed to get. That girl won't leave.
Oh, placement. Somehow, the cord got caught in the door, and it broke. Damn. But it was broken anyway. Can't say I'm surprised. I'll be lying.
Y'all see the cord hanging out? It's broke.
Alright, man. That's why I brought the camera back. Alright.
Yeah. Liz said I'm not putting.
Well, like I say, that's why we got the 360 degrees. But I'm thinking about just recording from the handlebars and just dealing with the bump. Because I can see the cord got snapped. The cord got snapped from the Bluetooth speaker, and I gotta go find a way to fix that. But don't worry, we'll know how to put it. On the camera.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you something. That was the devil. And you can say what you want to say. You saw it fell off and it was dangling, right? And when I was bringing the bike back inside, when I went to touch the door, it just fell on the ground on its own. It was thrown to the ground. It was thrown to the ground. It had dangled all that time. For me coming out the door, going all the way out to the sidewalk, coming back inside, it sat there dangling. The minute I had to walk around to the front of the bike, to the handlebars, to pull it into the second door, it jumped off. Meaning I would have seen it, I would have put it back, everything would have been fine. It jumped off. Why did it jump off by itself? There was nobody pulling it, or no weight being put on it. It jumped off by itself. And y'all saw it. It jumped off by itself. So it dangled all that time, just dangled. Then when I saw it, it jumped off. Like, nah, boy. This getting broke today. And damn thing you can do about it. We breaking this today. And that's what happened. This is going.
We got battery recording. Y'all can see. And you see it? See how the code broke? So we're going to have to buy another one. Because it takes a double-sided USB cord. It takes a double-sided one. So I'm going to have to go with one. That's more money in my pocket. Every time we go somewhere, we break something. And this pillow ain't no good. All it did was hit me. So we definitely gonna take it off. So it's comment about Mike Pence. If you watch this stuff, I don't know anything about Mike Pence, except I know that he the head. I can tell you what I know about Mike Pence. He's the head of the CDC. He's in charge of the coronavirus management. And we got 214,000 dead and almost 8 million infected under Mike Pence's watch as the head of the CDC. That's what I know about Mike Pence. Now, I'll be on later. You want to come debate?
Because everything I do, I do for you. Lord, everything I do for you.
We don't know about Mike Pence. I know more about.
Because everything I do, Lord, everything I do for you. All that I have, all that I achieve, a blessing from you. I believe you are the Lord of Lords, the host of hosts. I want to spread your name from coast to coast, not the boast.
What the heck is the Mike Pence? What the heck is the Mike Pence? Maybe you come down. It's just about his work. 214,000 years under his watch. That's what I know about Mike Pence. Now, anybody got any comments out of it?
Alrighty. Now we can go ahead and delete that. I don't need it no more. Get it off the PC. We have it recorded. We got it recorded on YouTube. So we can close that. We can close that window. Close Windows Media Player. Alrighty. Yes, I did do a sermon yesterday, Liz. After the debate, yes, I did do a sermon. There wasn't no excuse not to do a sermon. But I had 3 articles. We did 2 of them. Where's the third one? It was on, what does the Bible say about whether or not we should vote? So we didn't do this third one. Let's get it. Let me make sure y'all can see it. Can you see it? I'm Kevin Prince. Can you see it? Can you see it? Does God care about the presidential election? Billy Graham's answer. Before we even read it. For those of y'all who didn't watch yesterday's, let me pull the chat up here. Well, I'm telling you, Liz, I'm doing everything to keep my eyes open. But we can go ahead and do the third part, and then we'll get into the news. And we got some links. You and Naya gave us some links, and I found some. We got plenty of stuff to look at. But you know, I ain't got the towel on today, but we'll go ahead. Check it out, y'all. The topic of yesterday's Bible study was, does God want us to vote? Is it important that Christians vote? It's 2 sides to it. I've studied with the evangelicals. I've studied with the Protestants. I've studied with the Catholics. I've studied with the Baptists. I even attended a Muslim. Gotta take your daggone shoes and socks off, man. And the daggone kneeling and the kneeling with the Catholics. But the Jehovah's Witnesses believe that God's people shouldn't worry about who's in office. That God is the president and Jesus is the vice president. And you only worry about them. I understand what they're saying, but I have to disagree with them. Not on the fact that God and Jesus should be our vice presidents, but the fact of the matter is we have to live down here for 80 years. Our kids have to live down here for 80 years, if you make it that long. But the average is 80. In the black community, the average is 78. For the men, it's what, 70? But those years you spend on this earth, why should you not make it comfortable? Because even if you don't, like right now, we got 2 presidents. 2 of them. It ain't worth 2 pieces of dookie from the hills of Guadalupe. We got 2 presidents that ain't worth a darn. Will anybody debate that? Neither one of these candidates are worth voting for. Biden looked like he ready for the nursing home, and Donald Trump act like he ready for the insane asylum. Who do you pick? All politicians lie. We know that Biden is a racist. We know that Donald Trump is a racist. But Biden realized that being outwardly racist only gonna get him so far. Donald Trump banking on it. See, there's a difference. Both of them racist. But one of them, yeah, I'm racist, but I'm still going to give you something. Donald Trump, yeah, I ain't giving you nothing. Screw you. You got to decide which one you're going to pick. That's the key. But if you don't vote, you can't complain. If you don't vote, you can't complain. Y'all understand that? If you don't vote, you cannot complain. You can't bees, you can't moan, you can't groan. Because see, if you vote, you can say, I didn't vote for your sorry butt because I knew you was going to be nothing. But if you don't vote, it don't carry no weight. Because your vote might could have steered the right election. You telling people who you going to vote for might get them to vote, which could turn the election. You got to figure out which one of these politicians is the least of the evil between the two. And that's the one you vote for. Just because you vote for them don't mean you got to be out there with the signs. Don't mean you got to pledge all your support. But when it comes to somebody who's going to uphold God's laws, who do I vote for? I don't know what Donald Trump is, but we know that Biden is a Catholic. But is he a real Catholic? Will he stop abortion? Neither one of them will. A Catholic don't believe in abortion. Biden's been in office in some particular form for 47 years. But yet we have abortions. When Trump got in there, did Trump stop abortion? No, he didn't. So, wash. But Biden might try to do something about abortion. But Kamala Harris believes it's a woman's right to choose. Yeah, that's who the article. The last one. Yeah. That's why I skipped it. But I'll go ahead and read it. But like I said, Kamala Harris believes that it's a woman's right to choose. Well, the woman had the right to choose not to lay down with no half-dead man. And she did. You live by your choices have consequences. She thought she was going to trap that man by having the baby. It didn't work. So now you want to kill the baby. What the baby got to do with it? All right, well, remind me to get back to it when you come back. How was it the child's fault that a woman messed around with a half-dead man she knew was a half-dead man, but she chose to lay with him anyway? Y'all get mad at me when I say a woman didn't choose her husband. A man will want you so bad that he will beg his father to give the girl's father whatever it took to get her. Now, the women give it up for a daggone Happy Meal, a daggone wing ding, some daggone shrimp egg foo young, and some liquor. Steel Reserve, Colt 45, Alizé, E&J, whatever, Hennessy, whatever it is you drink, you know all you got to do is get a bootleg DVD of a movie that girl want to watch, play Keith Sweat or R. Kelly in the car, ride to the carryout and let her get what she want. Stop by the particular corner and let her go get her weed. Stop by the liquor store, let her get a drinky drink, and head back to your crib. That's all it takes. Some men, they ain't got to do that. The women call you over their house. Say, come on over. Need me to bring anything? No, I got everything. Come on. And then you sound surprised when you get pregnant, the man don't stay with you. The man wanted a good time. No responsibilities. You sit there and get pregnant, now he got responsibilities. He don't want to stay with you. If he wanted to stay with you, he'd have married you. He put a ring on your finger and say, I don't want no other guy to have you. I want you to myself. If a man don't do that, you should not be with him. If a man doesn't do that, you shouldn't be with him. You should not be allowed to climb between your legs. He has not claimed ownership. See, you let a man get it for nothing. Who's going to buy the cow if the milk is for free? If I can get the milk for free, what am I going to buy the cow for? I got to have a place for it to live. I got to clean up behind it. Make sure it eat what it eat. Same thing with a woman. This is why I believe women shouldn't work. Because a man is supposed to take care of a woman. And if you got everything, and the next woman got everything, why can't he ride between the two of you and take some from one and take some from the other, and him not work at all? Or have 3 women and get money from each one of y'all. So why would he commit when he can play all 3 of you, get money out of all 3 of you, get sex out of all 3 of you? Why the heck would he want to commit? When he commit, then he got to run the show. You running the show. He just coming and going as he please. That's why it doesn't make any sense. I don't understand why the women do it. Why do you sell yourself short? And then you think if you get pregnant, he gonna stay with you. And it never works. It doesn't work. The man don't want you, and all you is a quick hit. He's not gonna marry you. He's not gonna stay there and take care of that child. So now you get mad when he tells you he don't want the child, and you want to abort it. You never had it. With no commitment. Women should not be having children for men if the man ain't provided a place for them to live, have money in the bank, have money for diapers, have money for, so you ain't got to be on the wick. Man can't provide everything you need. Why would you lay with him? There's no question. Liz said she would go crazy not working. You know, that's what started feminism. But see, the women had raised the kids. And after the kids were out of the house, then the women wanted to do something. You know, women wanted to do something. Kids are grown. You go to work every day. I'm left in the house looking stupid. I want something to do. Well, in the old days, the women got together and they had meetings and clubs and they put up statues like the Confederates did, and that's how they did their time. But now, every woman go around, I can work, I don't need a man. So you took the man out of his position. Because you want to be in the position. You want to work. You're taking the man out of his position. The man supposed to go work and provide. So you've already emasculated the male. And then you'd be surprised when the male don't stay. I know women who swear they can't find a good man. I've seen women. I've said, you talk to that guy every day. He really likes you. I can talk about how he talks to you. Oh, he don't make as much as I do. I'm not taking care of no man. This said, my husband is from a different country. Before we got married, he made sure he could support me and our family before he made that commitment. And it used to drive me crazy. But I get it. This says, I understand that, BD. A woman should be able to support themselves too. That's not how they were designed, Liz. That wasn't the plan. That wasn't the plan that God laid out. That's the plan that you women moan and groan to get. And I'm going to tell you something that might make you mad, but I'm going to say it's the truth. When Eve offered that apple to Adam, he should have slapped the hell out of him. When women decided that they wanted to go join the workforce, somebody should have slapped the hell out of them. When they decided to go campaign and worry about being equal in the workplace and all that, somebody should have slapped the hell out of them. You can get mad, but it's the truth. Liz said, well, I'm sorry, in this day and age, I refuse to not have my own. Liz, I hear what you're saying. But what you also saying is that you're drawing yourself away from God. That's what you're saying. You're not doing what he wants. You're doing what you want to do. You can't serve two masters. You gotta serve one and ignore the other. God says stay home and be with the children. and you say, no, I'm going to go out there and do my own. I can do whatever a man can do. I can do it better. That's like Eve taking the apple. Adam ain't going to do it. God told him not to. But the devil told me I can take it. Ain't nothing going to happen to me. I'm going to be smarter and wiser and better than just sitting here in this stinking garden. I want to go out and see things. I want to go experience things. I don't want to sit here up under no man. And you see what happened. We say one nation under God. We not under God. You really think God really will come to the United States with all the filth, with all the pornography, children out here having sex? Everybody kid swapping. Everybody dressing and showing their features off. Only their mate supposed to see that stuff. But you want everybody to see it. You want it. And that's the reason why so many people are going to wind up getting thrown in the furnace. They doing what they want to do. Sin leads to death. Sin is doing anything that God hates. That separates you from Him. It separates you from Him. And if you are separate, you're not going nowhere but that furnace. And you can't talk your way out of not getting in that furnace. You might can trick men and get over on men. But they might want to lay with you. But you can't get over on God and Jesus. And when we learn that, it's going to be a better planet. When we learn that, this is going to be a better planet. You got businessmen tiptoeing around the office, afraid to say anything to the women because they might say they got sexually harassed. "75 years ago, if a woman tried that, you might find her in a ditch somewhere. You don't give me this promotion, I'm going to tell them that you was trying to fill me up. Years ago, you wouldn't have found that woman. She'd been buried somewhere. Even having a gall to say something like that. That just shows you where we are as a society. You have to understand a role. People don't want to stay in their role. When Eve got that apple, she broke out of her role. And women been trying to break out their role ever since. That's why the devil didn't go to Adam. He went to the weak link. Who was the weak link? Hey, Naya. Who was the weak link? And he been using women versus men all throughout history. All throughout history. John the Baptist's head got cut off because of a woman. Oklahoma and Black Wall Street. Blown up, burnt to a crisp because of a woman. Emmett Till and so many other young black men castrated, hung, cut into pieces because of a woman. All through it. It ain't stopped. Man and the woman are supposed to come together. But the women are together. Planning and plotting this. Sis said it would be lovely not to work. That's not in my nature. Sis said I didn't go to college looking for a husband. I was looking to better my education to get a job. Bible says you ain't supposed to look for a husband. He's supposed to come find you. Like I say, when you take individual choices, decide what you want to do, just know if God not agreeing with it, it's called sin. And sin leads to second death. You can rationalize and you can change your reality and you can just believe what you want to believe, then don't say you're a Christian. Because you're lying to yourself. Women only went to school so they could help their children with their schoolwork. If women had a question about religion, they didn't ask it in the church. They waited till they got home and they asked the husband. Then the husband will go ask the clergy for to answer that question and bring it back to the wife. We have totally flipped the way it's supposed to be. We have totally flipped the way it was supposed to be. Like I said, you can get mad at me. Get mad at me all you want. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's the one thing I won't do. I won't lie. That's why nobody has ever been able to come in here and challenge anything I've said to y'all. I don't lie. I tell the truth. I don't give my opinion. My opinion is my opinion. Just because it's my opinion don't mean it's right. I tell y'all the truth. Truth hurt. That's why we only got 7 to 8 people. They don't want to hear the truth. They want somebody to lie to them. They want somebody to pat them on the back and tell them it's going to be all right. But I say to you, when Judgment Day comes, standing in that long line, see your pastor, see the deacon, see the first ladies get thrown in that furnace. You see your boss, the landlord, get thrown in that furnace. You see your parents, taught you everything you know. You see them getting tossed in the furnace. What are you going to be thinking in your mind as you get closer to standing in front of Jesus? What are you going to be thinking in your mind? You ain't thinking about it now because you're down here on earth and got your little car, got your little house and that. But after you spend thousands of years on a slow burn, finally let out, stand in line, watch everybody who no one believed in. You watch them get tossed in the furnace before you do. That's punishment. That's terror. That's anxiety to us. It says, so if you got married today, you wouldn't want your wife to work. No. If I can't take care of the both of us, I don't need to be married. You say opinion and truth are two different things. Well, unfortunately, in this country, opinion carries more weight than the truth. You had a president to say that he knew about the virus, that it was deadly. He didn't want you to panic. So he lied to you and told you it was fake. So in his opinion, it was better for him to lie to you. He felt that it was okay for him to lie to you and keep you in the dark. And that contributed to 7.5 million people getting the CV and 214,000 dead because of his opinion. But if he would have told the truth, people would have got serious sooner. And maybe we wouldn't have so many. Maybe people would have took it seriously. Not be walking around, still breathing and kissing and hugging on each other, spreading the disease to each other. You got a president who's telling you, I got it, it ain't nothing. He ain't even had it a whole week yet. But it ain't nothing. But yet, he's on. He's been on oxygen. He's taking steroids. He's taking an experimental drug that's only been tested on 36 people in the United States. Only been tested on 36 people. That man's 70-something years old. Why is he taking an experimental drug for people in the acute state? But he said it's nothing. Don't listen to what he say. Watch what he do. It ain't nothing. But he go run to the hospital as soon as he find out he got it. It ain't nothing. But they tell you, you find out you got it, go home and quarantine. He ran to the damn hospital. But they tell you to go home and quarantine. They don't only give nobody no test unless your temperature is real high. People get away from the hospital. Your temperature not high enough. Go away. But yet the president only had it for a couple of days here in the damn hospital. Come on, man. Talk to me. Hey, Tony. But see, in his mind, put on you. You don't need to get no treatment. But I do. I'm the president. And I'm Donald Trump. And I'm better than you. What happened to the hydrocortisone and all the zip packs and all that? What happened to that? Why he didn't go grab that? No, he went and got something different. But he's not worried about the disease. He walking around on steroids. Steroids make you imagine stuff that ain't there. Give you a weird kind of mindset. But the fact of the matter is, those drugs are keeping him feeling good, just like somebody being high. But while he being high, the virus is attacking his body. He might feel good, but his body don't. Same way when you take all that cold medicine. You ain't helping your body, you helping yourself. I feel better. But you causing your body not to be able to do what it's supposed to do. Fight against the disease. You making it harder on your body. Because you want to be comfortable. It's better to sit there and have that temperature. It's better to sit there and be coughing that phlegm out of your lungs. It's better to be blowing your nose and having that phlegm come out your nose. But you want to take drugs to suppress all of that and make it stay inside you, which is going to make your body worse. But you're going to be drugged up. You won't notice. So as long as you don't notice, put on your body. Put on the damage that the virus is doing to you. As long as you feel good. Right? Now he said him contracting the virus is a blessing from God. You know what? There's something wrong with that man. Y'all just don't want to admit it. How is him getting the virus a blessing when in his age group is deadly? Minorities and the elderly are the ones dying the most. And whether he wants to admit it or not, he's in that group. That daggone little fly, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna drown his butt. And I hope the show don't stop. Where you at now, sir? You been buzzing around me for 10 minutes. No, I'm doing my show. I can't do nothing. Well, I got this spray bottle. I can do something. I don't understand it. I killed 3 flies today. But I had to open the door. I even held the door open and tried to wave the fly out. He would go to the door and come right back. I said, now you know. That don't make no sense. But see, y'all, I got them wings wet. Now he don't want to fly around. Where you at, sir? So I'll get some peace. Oh, how's the show looking? I never turned the settings back up, but I took the trash out today and I went on and I walked around side of the house. You know, I don't have enough room. You're supposed to have the antennas 50 feet apart. So I got the outside antenna right here in this window. The window in the bathroom, I got the antenna that's supposed to be on the inside. I got that all the way outside, hanging down, almost the ground level. And I went on and it's the what do you call them things? You know, on the side of the building, those steel things that had them supposed to be able to look at them and you know, see the utilities and stuff like that. I tucked it by the last one, so it's all the way at the end. So hopefully they fall enough apart. The reason is you can't have the outside antenna. You're supposed to have it come in, go into the booster, and then go to the antenna. But the outside antenna gotta be up. You can't have it down, under. And that was the problem. I had them at the same level. And that's why the antenna wasn't working right. I actually had them level, and they was only 15 feet apart. That's why we wasn't getting the reception. Why it was saying that, you know, we had, you know, 43 decibels. Negative 43. Remember, anything under 50 is good. Anything around 50 is good. No, between 50 and 79. It was saying we had 38, 39. That's because the antenna was feeding back to the outside antenna. They were looping and distorting the signal, and it was causing the FCC makes your device turn off, your booster turn off. So it was destroying the signal. So I got the inside antenna outside, and it's outside in the bathroom. I got it all the way out to the wall, almost to the edge. And then I got the outside antenna. I had it outside, but I had to bring it back in because it was cold. It was right there above where I put my head at. And maybe I could move it over there. But like I said, this antenna got to be higher. The outside antenna got to be higher than the inside antenna. Like you would have it out on your roof, and then you would have the antenna like on, you got a 3-story house, you would have it on the first floor or the second floor. It's got to be under. If you got them level or over, it don't work. So the signal is coming through, and it's going to that antenna, and the cell phone is pulling it in. It'd be better if I could have the inside antenna here. But how could I have it here and not have the outside antenna higher? I know y'all saying that sounds crazy. And it do sound crazy when you first say it, but you gotta have them separate. Huh? Yeah, Tony, are you okay? How's your leg? You go to the hospital? You put some ice on it? So like I said, we are doing pretty good now. I don't know why I do this when I know it ain't gonna work right. Let's do a speed test. And with the show running, it's saying that we doing 844 down and 825 up. I only got it on 43. Now we're gonna do a refresh and watch it be worse. It's always worse. Do it the second time. So even though the antenna is outside, the inside antenna is outside, I haven't tried to switch them. I wonder what would happen if I switched them. If I made this the inside antenna and made that the outside antenna. Now it's saying $5.99. Do it one more time. Now look. Yeah. This is in a cell phone. You get different numbers. But the upload has been consistent. The upload has been consistent. So, judging by that, we come back to the OBS and go to our friend Windows Media. If you look, you can see that we are green and we're doing 41, 57, 45, 56, 4805, 4307, 4927. So, we doing almost half of what we putting out. That's why we don't have no problems. I could go higher, but for us staying low like this, we not having no problems. So, I'm going to leave it as it is. As long as it works, we just going to leave it as it is. But that's what we do. Now let's get back to the sermon. Set up. Why should we vote? I read y'all some scripture. Where God said, you didn't want to listen to me. So, I let you get invaded. You're going to be scattered throughout the winds. But wherever you go, make a good home for you and your families. Be an asset to the community you're in. Follow the man-made laws as best you can, unless they interfere with the laws that I gave you. Then resist. But resist humbly and respectfully. He didn't say make man's laws your laws. Follow them as best you can. Some of man's laws are good, but some of them are the devil laws. All right, says she be right back. All right, hurry back, Naya. Gonna get ready to get into it here. Election season is in full swing, and the presidential nominees just had their first debate. But even this close to November, many are still unsure who to vote for. Maybe that's you, or maybe you don't plan to vote at all. Let Billy Graham's answer about voting in politics encourage you. Question. I know the elections are still many months away, but I'm already tired of all the name calling and the overblown rhetoric. I've decided to just shut my mind to it all. I don't think God really cares about politics anyway, does he? Answer. God cares about everything that affects our lives, including who our leaders will be and how our society will be governed. That's one reason why he commanded us to pray for our government and its leaders. Would he have told us to do this if he didn't care about good government? Of course not. The Bible says, I urge them, first of all, that petitions, prayers, intercession, and thanksgiving be made for kings and all those in authority. 1 Timothy 2:1-2. Many leaders probably can sympathize with your attitude toward too much rhetoric or too many ads. But don't let these blind you to the importance of our elections or cause you to shut your mind to our nation's need for honest and able leaders. Our system may not be perfect, but it's far better than in many other nations. Pray for our nation, especially as we look forward to elections a year from now. Pray especially that God will raise up leaders who will stand for justice and morality and will seek God's will in all they do. Pray too that our nation will turn to God and that we may experience true spiritual revival. Increasingly, we seem to be pushing God out of our lives as a nation, and this too will have tragic consequences. Don't let this happen to you, but make sure of your commitment to Christ and seek to follow him every day. The Bible standard is still true. Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. Psalms 33:12. That was it. That was quick. That was quick. All right, where's that story that Liz gave? Was it from Nine or was it from Liz? Okay, no, then it must be. All right, y'all, let's get it. Let's get it.
This is breaking news from WCO.
Good afternoon, I'm Jason DeRusha. We start this noon with a big development in the George Floyd case. The officer kneeling on Floyd's neck has just been released on bail. Derrick Chauvin was being held at the maximum security prison in Oak Park Heights. We've learned he left the prison this morning, where he was taken to Hennepin County Jail. That's where all of this was processed, and he was released just within the hour. Video from May 25th, seen around the world, shows Chauvin kneeling on Floyd's neck for nearly 8 minutes. That video's sparking days of protest and violence in Minneapolis and demonstrations around the world. I want to get right to our Reg Chapman, who is live in Oak Park Heights, the place where Derrick Chauvin has been for months. Good morning, Reg.
Good morning, Jason. It was sources inside the Department of Corrections that told WCCO that former Minneapolis police officer Derrick Chauvin was removed from this facility early this morning. Those sources tell us that they were told early this morning that Chauvin would be moved to the Hennepin County Jail where he would make bail. They transported Chauvin around 9:30 this morning to transport from Oak Park Heights all the way to downtown Minneapolis to the Hennepin County Jail. That's where sources also told us that Chauvin spent more than an hour there and was released around 11:22 this morning. So Chauvin did walk out of the Hennepin County Jail shortly before noon today, making bail. According to our sources inside the Department of Corrections, they do tell WCCO they were told early this morning that Chauvin is going to be released, and that happened within 2.5 hours of them being told that Derrick Chauvin, former Minneapolis police officer, would make bail today and walk out of the Hennepin County Jail. Jason?
Reg, do we know anything about any sort of preparations going on? I would expect that there might be concern that there would be unrest or protest, knowing that the key figure in this case is now out of prison, out of jail.
That is a big concern for law enforcement. They are all on alert. Law enforcement, state and local guys are all working together. They are prepared for any type of demonstration that may go on today because former Minneapolis police officer Derrick Chauvin has been released from prison and has also walked out of the Hennepin County Jail. So they are prepared. They are on alert. They are not being told of any possible movements or any type of riots or any type of protest that may go on because of this, but they are standing by just in case there is some kind of movement with activists who may be upset with this former police officer making bail today.
Of course, Derrick Chauvin, just in the charging process here, it is his right to post bail or post bond. He's also in the middle of another legal proceeding, Reg, going on with his own personal finances that was taken against him in his home county. So that certainly complicates his own personal finances because those legal procedures are about allegations that he misreported his income, he and his now estranged wife.
And that is right, because we know that he does own a home here not far from Oak Park Heights here in Oakdale. But then we have learned that on September that house was sold. So not sure where former officer Chauvin will go once he's been released, but he won't be that house here in Oakdale.
All right, Reg Chapman, thank you for your reporting. We appreciate that. I want to show you the actual bail form that was just filed with the court this morning. This posted to the state court website. It is a little complicated. Bail and bond can be a complicated situation. Some of you might be thinking, hey, I thought Derrick Chauvin was being held on $1.25 million bail, and he was, but often in criminal cases, you're able to post 10%, and then a bail bonds company basically is on the hook for the rest of that money. This situation, even a little more complicated. It's called a non-cash bond. And so the money was not entirely posted, but this, a power of attorney for $1 million. The other money, presumably either Derrick Chauvin, his family, supporters, who knows who came up with that other money. That is not part of this form, but the bail bonds form here you're looking at right now, filed, you see the stamp there, October 7th, just this morning. But this being secured by a bail bonds company, if we can scroll down to the bottom of this, you'll see the name of the company there, which I believe is in Brainerd. It's called A Affordable Bail Bonds. So that's kind of who we went through, and there's an insurance company, Allegheny Casualty, as well. So it gets a little more complicated, but the bottom line is at 12:05 this afternoon on a Wednesday, Derrick Chauvin, who's been in prison, state custody, because they wanted to get him out of the county jail for his safety. He is out of custody, period, this afternoon. Chauvin faces more than 12 years if he is convicted of unintentional second-degree murder. That is the charge right now. The bail was set at $1.25 million with no conditions, or $1 million with conditions. So it appears, and there's more for us to learn at this hour, but it appears that the $1 million bond is what was posted this morning. Derrick Chauvin, according to Hennepin County, released from their custody just about 40 minutes ago. We'll continue following this breaking story.
Alrighty, y'all. Derrick Chauvin, the man who had his knee on George Floyd's neck, he is out. He is out of jail. $1 million bond. Naya said $100,000 on the highway to acquittal. If he's acquitted, I hope Reggie go back there because they're going to tear that city up. I hope our boy Reggie go back there, boots on the ground. Because if he go, we going. We're going to be right there with him. If they let that man go, if he get an acquittal, I ain't going to say nothing. But sit here and just watch. But people getting tired. They getting tired. They are getting tired of this bull crap. All right, that was from Naya. This is from Liz. That video. I don't see a video. Keep that baby on the ventilator. The hospital says the child is dead. A 3-judge panel in Texas could soon decide whether a 10-month-old baby will remain on a ventilator in a hospital or be disconnected. The child's family attorney told CNN. Mario and Ana Patricia Torres sued the Texas Children's Hospital last month to keep their son, Nick, on life support, arguing. While medical staff declared him brain dead, their September 30th complaint says. The parents sought an injunction against the hospital as well as more than $1 million. The complaint claims the hospital was rushing to make a decision without giving the baby to recover and added it had only been days since the child was found unconscious in the bathtub. A judge denied the temporary injunction but allowed the family more time to file an accelerated appeal within the 14th Court of Appeals which serves Harris County. On Monday, that court gave all sides until Wednesday at 5 to present evidence at CNN. The case is about life and death, what we believe, and who gets to choose when a child is taken off life support, family attorney Kevin Asado told CNN. Do the parents choose or do the doctors choose? And when the doctors don't agree with the parents, who gets to decide? And those are the issues that are at the heart of this case, as Savito said. The hospital said in its court documents it was undisputable medical fact that the baby's body was showing signs of post-mortem deterioration. They also said the child had developed progressive signs of organ failure, including cardiac failure. Baby was found unconscious in the bathtub. According to court documents, Nick was placed in intensive care on September 24 after being found unconscious in the bathtub, laying in water and unresponsive. He was transferred to the Texas Children's Hospital in Houston from a local hospital where he was first taken. After 6 days, the complaint says hospital staff told Nick's parents they must disconnect the child from any life support system because he wasn't showing any signs of brain activity, and this was enough to declare him deceased. The Tauruses argued the child's heart is still beating on its own, giving them hope that child could survive according to the complaint. The hospital asked the court to deny the family's injunction, saying that evaluations both at a satellite hospital and at the TCH campus at Texas Medical Center show complete cessation of all spontaneous brain activity, and the child is dead based on Texas law. A brain death exam was performed on September 27th, the hospital said, which was positive. A subsequent evaluation showed no evidence of blood flow in the brain. Dr. Matthew Music, the senior medical director for the hospital's pediatric intensive care unit said in a court filing, he pronounced the boy dead on September 30th, and that the boy's body was showing post-mortem deterioration. The boy's current condition and physiological changes have nothing to do with the presence of oxygen provided by the ventilator. In addition, these changes cannot be stopped or slowed by the ventilator or any service. In its response to the family request for an injunction to stop the disconnection of services, the hospital said it has complied with all applicable legal standards in providing services. In fact, has gone beyond what is required of a healthcare institution in this position. Our hearts are with the entire Torres family as they go through this unimaginable situation, the Texas hospital said in a statement to CNN on Tuesday. We know losing a child is incredibly difficult for any family. Texas Children seeks to provide the most comprehensive and appropriate care possible to every patient we serve. When the decision could come, as C-Video said, he expects the judicial panel to come out with a decision in the days after the Wednesday deadline. If the hospital doesn't want to give it time, then let me take my baby home and God decide, not man. Anna Patricia Torres, the baby's mother, who wrote in a Facebook post, as a mother, I ask you to keep praying for my baby. As the video also said, the family would like to take the baby home or to another facility. She believes her baby can live. If another hospital won't take the baby, she wants to take the baby home, Acevedo said. All right, what do y'all think? Naya said a ventilator is an artificial breathing. The body will continue the decomposition process. Artificial respiration, awful. It sounds like he's deceased. Well, you hear the president brag about having the ventilators. If what Naya just said is true, then that backs up the statement that we read that 17% of the people come off the ventilator. The other 83% die. So the ventilator is artificial breathing, so it'll keep the body with oxygen. But if the CV and tore your lungs up, it giving you oxygen is only going to do so much. Your body's deteriorating. The CV just tearing the muscle, tearing up the tissue. The heart can't provide the oxygen, so the ventilator provides the oxygen. But it providing the oxygen is not going to stop. It providing the oxygen is not going to stop. You know, the body from deteriorating. If the lungs is gone, they're gone. If there's no activity in the brain, the machine is supposed to help the body so it can recover. But if the body isn't recovering, you just got a vegetable. That's literally, it's like it's dead, but it's still breathing. You know? Now, that's a good question that they didn't say. That's the first thing I thought of. Who would leave a baby in a tub unattended? I remember, you know the little hospital tubs I used to bathe my little girl in the little hospital tubs. So the water never got past her stomach. And I could wash her gently, dry her off, put a pamper and put a jumper on her. And there you go. Why would you put a baby in a bathtub? I'm just asking. You're right, Naya. Very tragic story. You know, you made the mistake. Did we see these already? Oh, we never played this. Michelle Adel. Quatta.
President passionate case.
That's right. Urging Americans to vote for Biden. Like, quote, your lives depend on it. Let's go to MJ Lee. She has more on this video. It is interesting because remember when, like in those big speeches, that never said Trump's name. She just said we go high when they go low, etc. She doesn't love politics, but she's digging in on this one.
That's right. I mean, if we could get a sign that we are just 4 weeks out from the election, and it really is game time for the Biden campaign, this message from former First Lady Michelle Obama, it is direct to camera. It is almost 24 minutes long, and it really is an urgent plea to the American people to get out and vote, not just for anyone, but of course for Joe Biden, and making the case in not mincing her words at all against President Trump and the state of the country under President Trump. Remember, the former First Lady is one of the most popular and well-known national Democrats in the country, and when she gave that speech at the Democratic National Convention, it was one of the most memorable speeches of the week. I just want you to take a listen to a part of her speech where she talks about chaos in the country and a president who she says is up to the job.
Believe it or not, the election right around the corner are already being cast. And if you're still deciding who to vote for or whether to vote at all, I wanted to take a moment to remind you what's at stake and to urge you to make a plan to vote today. Because let's be honest, right now our country is in chaos because of a president who isn't up to the job. And if we want to regain any kind of stability, we've got to ensure that every eligible voter is informed and engaged in this election, because the stakes are on display every day, not just in the headlines, but in our families. If you're a parent like me, you're feeling the consequences of this president's failure to take this pandemic seriously, from his constant downplaying of the importance of masks and social distancing, to his relentless pressure on schools to open without offering a clear plan or meaningful support to students and teachers safe. Our daughters are in college now, and luckily they're taking classes from home this semester. But in just a few weeks since schools have resumed, many of their friends who returned to campus have either tested positive or are living with someone who has.
Yeah, the former First Lady also addressed the racial tensions in the country and said that under President Trump, the country will continue to spiral out of control. Here's a little bit more from her speech.
So I want to appeal for some empathy here too. I want everyone who is still undecided to think about all those folks like me and my ancestors. The moms and dads who worked their fingers to the bone to raise their kids right. The teenagers who wear hoodies while working hard to get their diploma. The millions of folks who look like me, that fought and died and toiled as slaves and soldiers and laborers to help build this country. Put yourselves in our shoes. Just a moment. Imagine how it feels to wake up every day, do your very best to uphold the values that this country claims to hold dear. Truth, honor, decency. Only to have those efforts met by scorn, not just by your fellow citizens, but by a sitting president. Imagine how it feels to have suspicion cast on you from the day you were born, simply because of the hue of your skin. Walk around your own country scared that someone's unjustified fear of you could put you in harm's way. Terrified of what 4 more years of this kind of division might mean to the safety of you and those you love. Living with the knowledge that no matter how hard we try, how much good we do in the world, there will be far too many who never see our humanity, who will project on us their own fears of retribution for centuries of injustice, and thus only see us as a threat to be restrained. We know what happens next. A racial slur from a passing car, a job promotion that never comes, a routine traffic stop gone wrong, maybe a knee to the neck. Racism, fear, division. These are powerful weapons, and they can destroy this nation if we don't deal with them head on. So I want to ask every single American, no matter what party you normally vote for, please take a moment to pause. Click off the news. Think about how you felt over these last 4 years, how quickly things have turned. And then think about what the next 4 years for our country's future. The message we will send to our children about who we are and what we truly value. Think about what would possibly compel you to accept this level of chaos, violence, and confusion under this president, willing to watch our country continue to spiral out of control. We can no longer pretend we don't know exactly who and what this president stands for. Search your hearts and your conscience. Then vote for Joe Biden like your lives depend on it.
Former First Lady. All right, here we go. News.
Have you been
After the commercial.
33-year-old man was knocked out on White Plains Road in the Soundview section of the Bronx. He and another 67-year-old female victim were in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I mean, this area is pretty good. So that's why when I saw you guys here, I was like, wow, what's going on here?
Police say the 2 suspects, teen boys believed to be between the ages of 16 and 19, thought the man was making fun of them when they attacked him around 1 a.m. Sunday morning.
I see too many young kids being too aggressive with older, younger. It's like, there's a lot of violence going on. So it's kind of scary world out there that our kids are growing up to be a little too aggressive.
The surveillance video shows what happened to the 33-year-old man left here on the sidewalk unconscious. It does not show the 67-year-old woman police say was punched in the eye. Police believe the woman was an innocent bystander caught up in the assault. Her eye socket fractured from a punch to the face. Residents here surprised an allegedly unprovoked attack happened on their block.
Yeah, surprised me, yeah. I've been here at 10 years. About 10 years, first time, somebody punched, somebody in the face.
Still, residents say they're cautious about walking too late at night. On this block, only one corner bodega is open. All the other businesses are closed.
Look around you when you walk.
Now, police asking for the community's help finding the two suspects accused in the assault, hoping to keep the sidewalk safe at all hours of the day. In the Southview section of the Bronx, Clark Foraker, CBS 2 News.
New at 11 family members confirmed this is the 15-year-old who was found shot to death inside a Newcastle County apartment overnight. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Holden. Tonight, police are still not saying very much about what they think happened, but Eyewitness News reporter Matt Pacillo has been pushing for answers. He's live outside the state police barracks. Matt.
Well, Joe, I also talked to the victim's family. Her brother tells me that she was a loving sister, someone he's going to miss every day. Now, state police are working to figure out exactly what led up in the moments before that gun was fired. Family of 15-year-old Imoni Rivers Boyd says she was taken from them too soon. She was found shot dead just before 10 o'clock Saturday night at this apartment complex on Bennett Court in Newport.
It was just full of cop cars.
A neighbor shared this image of Newport police responding to a frantic 911 call shortly after the fatal shooting.
I think about her parents, how they must feel, and just how she lost her life so young.
On Sunday, we found crime scene tapes still left behind. Neighbors say they heard loud music on the first floor apartment when the gun was fired.
Kids had a party, and then it just got out of hand.
Later in the evening, a woman who was at work at the time came home and found the girl not breathing.
She just came outside and screamed like she's dead or something. So it's really sad.
And neighbors also tell us that 15-year-old victim did not live at that apartment. She was only there for that party. Police tell us so far no arrests have been made. Reporting live in Newcastle County, Matt Petrillo, CBS 3 Eyewitness News.
Thank you for that live report.
Alrighty, y'all. Y'all didn't tell me the screen was blocked. Thanks a lot, y'all. Is there anybody watching? It said 11 people here. Nobody told me that the screen is frozen. So that means that y'all didn't even see this. We gotta show this again. Because y'all didn't see it.
So.
Right to a commercial.
Old man was knocked out on White Plains Road in the Soundview section of the Bronx. He and another 67-year-old female victim were in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I mean, this area is pretty good. So that's why when I saw you guys here, I was like, wow, what's going on here?
Police say the two suspects, teen boys believed to be between the ages of 16 and 19, thought the man was making fun of them when they attacked him around 1 a.m. Sunday morning.
I see too many young kids being too aggressive with older, younger. It's like, there's a lot of violence going on. So it's kind of scary world out there that our kids are growing up to be a little too aggressive.
The surveillance video shows what happened to the 33-year-old man left here on the sidewalk unconscious. It does not show the 67-year-old woman police say was punched in the eye. Police believe the woman was an innocent bystander caught up in the assault. Her eye socket fractured from a punch to the face. Residents here surprised an allegedly unprovoked attack happened on their block.
Yeah, surprised me, yeah. I've been here 10 years. About 10 years, first time, somebody punched, somebody in the face.
Still, residents say they're cautious about walking too late at night. On this block, only one corner bodega is open. All the other businesses are closed.
Look around you when you walk.
Now, police asking for the community's help finding the two suspects accused in the assault, hoping to keep the sidewalk safe at all hours of the day. In the Soundview section of the Bronx, Clark Foraker, CBS 2 News.
All right. Alrighty, I know y'all saw it that time. All right.
Tonight, a sobering view on the economy in New York City.
A record number of hotels continue to close. In fact, it's one of the hardest hit industries. 90% of hotel workers in the city were laid off. 25,000 of them have been without work for 6 months. And a total of 200 hotels have completely shuttered.
CBS 2's Lisa Rosner live in Midtown with more of the impact. Lisa.
Well, Maurice and Christine, this is UN Week, a time that most hotels rely on for their revenue, but instead, the Fitzpatrick Manhattan behind me is closed. The owner telling me that he's focusing on keeping another hotel open, and that is only at 15% capacity. You can get a room at the Fitzpatrick Grand Central for as low as $122 a night. But low prices aren't luring guests. Owner John Fitzpatrick could only keep 20 of his 160 employees. He says with no business meetings and the required 14-day quarantine, it's the worst he's seen in 30 years.
I came from Ireland to open this hotel, and, we want to do the right thing, but how do we survive? And I think it's they just leave us fend for ourselves.
The iconic 44-story Hilton Times Square, now history. Omni Berkshire Place on Madison and 52nd, permanently closed. The Grand Hyatt, adjacent to Grand Central Station, shut down since March, and the sidewalk is a popular spot for homeless. The jewelry store next door now seeing one customer a day.
Might not be enough to keep us in business. There is no law, no order. It's a mess.
Hotelplanner.com says people are coming to New York for one-night stays at best.
It's definitely higher loss rate in New York than other destinations.
Mayor de Blasio Thursday announced a plan to expand coronavirus testing and speed up results, calling it the start of a rebirth for New York City. But he eventually stopped taking reporters' questions and would only say there's 4 phases he'll detail in the coming weeks. The American Hotel and Lodging Association says 2/3 of hotels will only be able to last for another 6 months. So we asked,
what are you doing to help that industry
Get ourselves on that strong, healthy footing? We can't do, as is true with other industries, we can't do what we would love to do, which would be direct support financially.
But hotel industry leaders say there are solutions.
There has been no work on the part of the city to give any forgiveness or forbearance with respect to property taxes,
leaving those impacted by the lack of tourism frustrated with this message for the mayor.
Don't wait till the elections. Leave now.
And the Hotel Association says low-interest loans from Congress, as well as extending the Paycheck Protection Program, are lifelines that are sorely needed. In Midtown, Lisa Rosner, CBS 2 News.
If they waiting for they're waiting for that stimulus package to help out the whole. Yeah, y'all better keep on waiting. They don't care. All right, this is from Naya.
The video
you already have, dear. You already have. Alrighty. Thank you for that video, Naya. All right, here we go.
The CBS 2 News at 11 and streaming on CBS in Los Angeles. I'm DeMarco Morgan.
Good morning, I'm Suzanne Marquez. We begin with breaking news. A police officer was shot at in a bizarre confrontation with 3 alleged carjackers this morning.
Yeah, what a scene. The officer wasn't hurt, but the carjacking victim was injured. CBS 2's Brittany Hopper is live at the scene in Chino with what we are learning about the investigation. Brittany, good morning.
Good morning to you both. What a wild story this is. Take a look behind me. You can see police are still out here investigating. They've been out here all morning long. Now, the good news, the 3 suspects have been caught. It was a busy morning for Chino police after an armed carjacking started in Fontana just before 3 a.m. that police believe then led to a high-speed chase, then shots fired at a police officer in Chino.
Upon arrival, one of our officers contacted 3 subjects who immediately fired upon the officer, striking her patrol vehicle. The officer was not hurt.
Fontana police say the victim of the carjacking had fallen asleep in his car, waking up to armed suspects who shot him in the stomach. Then police say the victim was able to call 911 and give police a description of the car. Later, police believe that same car was located in Chino, where a short pursuit began. When the car stopped, the officer who pulled the suspects over was shot at several times. 2 bullets hitting the patrol car, and the 3 suspects then took off on foot. One of the suspects was arrested right away. The second suspect, according to police, shot himself in the head and is in critical condition. And the third suspect was on the loose for a few hours before getting caught. During the investigation, a large perimeter had been set up to look for the armed and dangerous suspect. Later, he was found and arrested. Now we're told the carjacking victim is in critical condition. None of the officers were shot at. We are live in Chino. I'm Brittany Hopper. Back to you guys in the studio.
Hi, Brittany. Thank you for that breaking story.
That made no sense. Man, that's just crazy. Like I said, you're welcome. Story. Yeah, you had the 2 good stories. All right, keep it going.
They had the equipment, the supplies, and the sales pitch. But police in our northern suburbs say...
All right, y'all. This is an update. We did a story in Detroit about people talking about they were going to seal your porch, your driveway, or your deck, taking money from people and then not doing the job. Well, guess what? It's happening in New York, too. So...
up to a potential scam.
And now they're warning homeowners to be wary. CBS 2's Tony Aiello explains.
In a Pelham Manor neighborhood where any number of driveways could use a fresh layer of asphalt, police found these unlicensed contractors offering on-the-spot service for a rock-bottom price. Cops are warning homeowners to beware.
So they show up at your door and they say, I'm paving in your neighborhood, and I have some extra asphalt and materials, and I can use them on your driveway and give you a deal.
The Westchester Consumer Affairs Director says sometimes the road pavers do half the job before demanding more money or rush through the work before rushing off.
Nothing's done right. It's a poor job. It won't even last a year. So it's a scam.
Variations of the scam may offer masonry repair or chimney cleaning.
Homeowners complain there's always something to fix, and the fixes are usually expensive, so you can understand why people might be tempted.
No question. I mean, it works. They wouldn't be doing the scam if it didn't work.
Eddie Rivera says he always checks before hiring.
Recommendation and thorough research. I mean, really, think about it. That's a smart thing to do.
Police say these men lacked licenses, insurance, and didn't offer a written contract. Westchester requires all 3.
You really got to do your homework when you hire a contractor, but of course, having a license should be the #1 thing you check.
And don't be tempted by someone offering a quick and cheap fix. In Pelham Manor, Westchester County, Tony Aiello, CBS 2 News.
All righty. Alrighty, y'all. Once again, they're doing it in Detroit. Now they're doing it in New York. They might be coming to your city. Now you know what to look for and how to handle it. Somebody come knock on your door and offer you free services. All right, I want y'all.
2 weeks ago, Channel 2 investigator Bill Spencer told you about this single mother of 5 who lost her job during the pandemic and was facing a court-ordered eviction.
Today, after weeks of living in fear of winding up on the street, that is all changing thanks to the Spencer Solves It team and an incredibly generous donor.
Yeah, a closer look at the trauma and the triumph.
3-day notice to vacate for non-payment of rent. The landlord shall commence all necessary legal procedures.
For Heather Hartman of Baytown, it was the hardest letter she ever had to read. The eviction notice, telling her and all of her children they would soon be put out on the street.
Baby, it's okay. Everything's gonna be okay, okay? Calm down. You hear me? It's okay. God's got us.
Heather is a hard-working single mom raising 5 children all by herself who lost her job as a grocery store clerk when COVID-19 shut everything down 7 months ago. She applied for unemployment, but it hasn't been enough.
But unfortunately, I only get $204 a week, so you cannot live off of $204 a week.
$204 a week.
$204.
Quickly, Heather felt $1,500 behind in rent. She couldn't find a job, and then came that dreaded eviction notice.
The most brutal time is being evicted from my home and my landlord not understanding that there's something going on worldwide, and if this isn't just an excuse for me not to pay my rent.
And if you think Heather's just being lazy, don't.
I don't want to just live off of government assistance. I don't want to live off of unemployment. I want a job that pays 9 to 5 hours, a weekly paycheck.
So right there, in the middle of packing up to leave, Heather decided to call the Spencer Solves It team, hoping her prayers for help would finally be answered.
I really want to do all we can to help moms like this.
And right away, we reach out to Preston Middleton, a Houston music producer who, along with his aunt, Dr. Judith Craven, former City of Houston Public Health Director, are donating thousands of dollars to help families avoid eviction.
These are hard-working people that deserve a break.
And finally, it's time for the big moment.
I want to present you with a check from on behalf of my aunt, Dr. Judith Craven, for $3,300.
Thank you.
And I'll be able to eat tonight.
This is going to help me out so much with me and my kids and being able to put another roof over our head and not have no worries.
I'll tell you what, tonight I want to send my deepest thanks to Preston Middleton and his angelic aunt, Dr. Judith Craven, for their incredible generosity. You know, they have helped 4 other families as well as Heather's already. We hope to be working with them some more. And finally, Heather is looking for a job right now. She wants to work with the elderly, hopefully in a nursing home. So if you can put her to work, please let me know. Write me at bspencer@kprc.com. One more thing, would you believe that Heather and me grew up on the same street, the same block, a few houses away from each other in Detroit? What are the chances?
Yeah, you must know at least a few of the same people, huh?
Hey, God brought us together.
Yes.
Without a doubt, you were meant to meet again. Yeah, Bill, very good. We appreciate that.
Oh, man, thank you, sir.
Look forward to seeing more.
So, y'all used to live a couple houses down from each other and didn't know each other. What did that say? Maybe if you had known her, maybe she would have got with you instead of getting with them baby fathers that was going to let them be put on the street. Maybe that would have happened. But I'm glad to see they got the help they needed. All right, get to our next story here.
Vice President Mike Pence and Senator Kamala Harris are campaigning in Arizona today following last night's debate. It was the first and only vice president was held with less than a month to go until the election. The candidates sparred over the handling of the coronavirus. Our Danya Bacchus reports from Salt Lake.
With plexiglass separating the candidates, Senator Kamala and President Trump's handling of the coronavirus.
The American people have witnessed the greatest failure of any presidential administration.
President Pence, the head of the coronavirus task force, defended the administration.
I want the American people to know that from the very first day, President Donald Trump has put the health of America first.
The vice president went after Harris for refusing to say whether a Biden administration would try to add seats to the Supreme Court.
Are you and Joe Biden going to pack the court if Judge Amy Coney Barrett is confirmed?
Let the American people fill that seat in the White House, and then we'll fill that seat on the United States Court.
While there were some interruptions and dodged questions, the tone civil than last week's presidential debate. It's were able to make their points on issues including healthcare and fracking.
If you have a pre-existing condition, heart disease, diabetes, breast cancer, they're coming for you.
They want to abolish fossil fuels and ban fracking, which would cost hundreds of thousands of American jobs.
Supporters say the candidates did what they needed to do.
The Trump campaign has put a lot of stake in the outcome in Pennsylvania, and fracking and energy, if you're in Western Pennsylvania, is a big deal for jobs.
She used her time wisely to talk about what's at stake here. Families all around the country are worried about their health care.
The moment generating the most buzz. A fly landing on the vice president's head and staying there for 2 minutes. The Biden campaign quickly tweeted out an image of a fly swatter, turning it into a fundraising opportunity. Danya Bacchus, CBS News, Salt Lake City.
For more on all this, I want to bring in Joel Payne and Lan-Hee Chen. Joel is a CBS News political contributor and Democratic strategist. Lan-Hee served as policy director and chief policy advisor for Mitt Romney's 2012 presidential campaign and as an advisor for Marco Rubio's 2016 presidential bid. Welcome to both of you. Great to have you with us. Joel, let me start with you. Why do you think Joe Biden's campaign is calling for the debate to be moved?
Well, I think first and foremost, Joe Biden and his campaign are concerned about safety. They're concerned about his safety, the safety of those who would be responsible for putting on the debate, and all those who might be impacted by both his and the president's travel. And it's the theme you've heard from Joe Biden is putting safety, putting public health first. And it's part of the reason why the president and his White House inner circle is in the mess that they're in right now, is because they keep flouting, what public health officials would tell you are the best practices here. And I think this is a real microcosm for really what the country has witnessed from the Trump White House, a lack of discipline around how to maintain and how to quarantine this illness. And I think we see it playing out in the president's inner circle, but it really is a story that we've seen told over the last 7 months that we've been trying to fight coronavirus. And I think Joe Biden is doing a good job of crisis management at the moment, and the president's failing the moment.
And so, Lamb, speaking of this coronavirus mess, as Joel just called it, President Trump and his campaign say they may hold a rally instead of a virtual debate. First off, do you think that's the right message to send to voters when it comes to wanting to appear as if you care about their health, first of all, but also simply in the wake of his coronavirus diagnosis? Why not agree to a virtual event?
Well, it's a good question. I think in the politics of where we are right now, if you believe all of the public polling we're seeing nationally and in key states, President Trump needs these debates. He needs an opportunity to draw contrast with Vice President Biden. He needs to appear in some form alongside him, offering contrast. So if I were the president, if I were the Trump campaign, I would counsel them strongly to look for opportunities to do that. And if it can't be done safely in person, then online is better than in person. There apparently is a proposal now that they push back the debate, essentially do the town hall debate a week later and have a third debate then a week after that, which would be just a few days before Election Day. For the Trump campaign, for the president, I think it is important to have that opportunity. So were I him or were I his campaign, I would say, look, let's figure out a way to get the candidates together and certainly to do it safely. But obviously, they need to emphasize those health and safety concerns as well, because COVID-19 is top of mind for many Americans. And it not appearing to do this responsibly, ultimately, I think, hurts the president, hurts his campaign.
All right, Joel, I want to ask you about Kamala Harris being the first Black and Asian woman to be a major party's vice presidential nominee. Did we see gender or identity play a role at all in last night's debate?
Well, look, I'll de-credential myself as a man here. I'll kind of own some male privilege and acknowledge that I can't know what it's like to walk in Kamala Harris's shoes in terms of her gender. But I do know what it's like to walk around as an African American and to constantly feel maybe that your opinion or your perspective isn't fully appreciated. I'm sure Kamala Harris has been in a lot of rooms where she feels like she's been talked over and ignored, and I'm sure she felt some of that last night. I think she handled herself well. I think the dynamics, look, the Vice President Pence certainly had to be mindful of those dynamics going into the debate. I don't think it was helpful for him to constantly talk over not just Kamala Harris, but Susan Page on several occasions. It's something we saw from President Trump. I do think it's different when you're talking about intergender situations. But again, I'll defer a bit as somebody who doesn't know what it's like to walk around as a woman. But I do get a sense that we saw a bit of that last night on display.
All right, so Lanhi, how do you think the vice president did on answering those questions about the coronavirus outbreak at the White House?
I think that he did the most credible job he could have, given what we know to be the administration's response, which at times I think has been faulty. But overall, I thought last night Vice President Pence had an air of normalcy about him compared to what we saw in the presidential debate the week before. And I think it worked well for Vice President Pence. I think he answered questions, but also drew contrast. It was a quite substantive conversation they had around key issues. And I think some of the vice president's attacks with respect to the Biden tax policy, with respect to the Biden climate and energy policy, I think those are effective lines of attack if you are the Trump-Pence ticket. And so I think the question is, to what degree can that discipline be carried out going forward? One of the challenges always tends to be with the president's campaign, the president in particular. He will kind of go in the direction he wants to go. And sometimes in campaigns, you need message discipline. From my experience, it's important to have message discipline. I thought Pence was on message last night. I think he did a good job of answering those questions. The issue is, does that go anywhere now that the campaign moves on from what was probably a less watched debate last night than the presidential contest the week before?
I think people were exhausted after that presidential contest. Joel, I want to ask you about the fact that both candidates dodged questions. Kamala Harris dodged one last night about stacking the Supreme Court, as Joe Biden did during the debate last week. Why do you think their campaign is avoiding this question?
Oh, because there are politically thorny issues that any good politician and any good political strategist would advise to do so on. I'll even give Mike Pence a pass. There weren't a lot of good answers on the questions that he passed on, and it's because President Trump and the Trump administration have not left a lot of good answers out there. And look, I think certainly on the question of court reform, look, that is a thorny issue for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, particularly on the left of the Democratic Party. There's a lot of energy behind that. I think they're taking a smart approach of saying, let's have the election, let's not take anything off the table, and let's see if maybe we can come to some kind of an agreement with Republicans that does not allow Republicans and conservatives to continue to abuse the judiciary. I think that's the real answer. It's hard to get out in a soundbite. I think Kamala Harris did a very capable job of answering that last night. And I think Mike Pence, again, I'll give him a pass. I completely understand the idea of passing on tough questions. It's what makes good politics.
Spoken like a true political advisor. All right, well, we've run out of time. Joel Payne and Lan He-Chen, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
All right. Let's keep it going. Ooh, body cam footage. All right. Body cam footage.
Good morning, sunshine. This is going to be a great workout. Yep. And court, what a story this is. We covered it when it first happened about a week and a half ago here at the LAPD Harbor Division. At that time, we used surveillance footage from both inside and outside the station. Now we're getting a first look at footage from the officers' body-worn cameras. It is graphic, it's violent, it's brutal.
Got my gun. Got my gun.
A violent, unprovoked attack on Los Angeles police officers that is considered attempted murder. All caught on camera. Saturday, September 26, 2020, about 10 p.m. at the LAPD Harbor Division. A man driving a truck races to the station and immediately appears agitated. The desk officer inside hears or sees the commotion and walks to the front door where the stranger confronts him. The officer is identified as Anthony Freeman, a veteran cop. The man, 29-year-old Jose Guzman. Words are exchanged. Exactly what, we don't know. But before long, investigators say Guzman unleashed an all-out attack on Freeman, punching him, grabbing his gun, pistol whipping him, and eventually pointing the gun at the officer. Assistant Watch Commander Sergeant Robin Aguirre enters the fray. Police say Guzman fired on her and she fired back. Bullets did not hit either person.
Subject vehicle, the white track. Any unit with additional coming in the air. Southbound Pacific.
Officials say patrol officers eventually gave chase.
Let me see your hands! Get down on the ground! Down on the ground!
Captured Guzman as he tried to escape.
Your hands!
You're crying like a little girl.
Okay.
Beating them up.
Sorry, what an incident. Multiple investigations are now underway into the attack and the subsequent police use of force. Jose Guzman is now charged with 2 counts of attempted murder on a peace officer, 2 counts of assault with a deadly weapon on a peace officer, and robbery among many other charges. Reporting live in San Pedro, I'm Chris Wolf, KTLA 5 News.
All right, y'all. I said it before. I say it again. I don't understand why these police officers can't fight. I don't understand it. Why is it that these trained officers, they're supposed to learn hand-to-hand combat, they get beat up? Have they become too dependent on their weapons? Have they become too dependent on the taser and too dependent on their firearms? Are they sitting around getting fat, eating donuts all day? And then when trouble comes, they want to reach for the gun. How many times we gonna see an officer get beat up? You're supposed to have fear and respect and authority for police officers. Instead, you know you can beat them up. That's why these young folk don't respect them. They know they can beat them up. My mama hit harder than you. And then they surprised when they have to do. I just don't get it. Uh-oh, something went wrong. Something went wrong with your link, Nine. Let me try it again. Try it again. Paste. Okay, something went wrong with Naya's link. Let me try and take it from the chat. Maybe that'll help. I'm trying to take it from the chat. Alright, Naya, so there's something wrong with your link. It keeps saying, oops, something went wrong. Naya says, overkill to having a weapon take. How you let somebody beat you up and take your weapon? You supposed to be trained. You are supposed to be trained.
Breaking news out of Hollywood. A deadly wrong-way crash is under investigation on the 101 freeway. It happened in the northbound lanes near the Hollywood Boulevard exit around 1 o'clock this morning. The driver going the wrong way was killed. A person in the other car that was hit had to be taken to the hospital. The northbound lanes of the freeway were closed during the investigation, but have since reopened.
But that was quick. Glad I took my wheels already. All right, we're waiting on Naya to put up a new link.
Time to Marco Morgan.
Good morning, I'm Suzanne Marquez. We begin with breaking news.
All right, Naya, give me a second.
A police officer was shot at in a bizarre confrontation with 3 alleged carjackers this morning.
Yeah, what a scene. The officer wasn't hurt, but the carjacking victim was injured. CBS 2's Brittany Hopper is live at the scene in Chino with what we are learning about the investigation. Brittany, good morning.
Good morning to you both. What a wild story this is. Take a look behind me. You can see police are still out here investigating. They've been out here all morning long. Now, the good news, the 3 suspects have been caught. It was a busy morning for Chino police after an armed carjacking started in Fontana just before 3 a.m. that police believe then led to a high-speed chase, then shots fired at a police officer in Chino.
Upon arrival, one of our officers contacted 3 subjects who immediately fired upon the officer, striking her patrol vehicle. The officer was not hurt.
Fontana police say the victim of the carjacking had fallen asleep in his car, waking up to armed suspects who shot him in the stomach. Then police say the victim was able to call 911 and give police a description of the car. Later, police believe that same car was located in Chino, where a short pursuit began. When the car stopped, the officer who pulled the suspects over was shot at several times. 2 bullets hitting the patrol car, and the 3 suspects then took off on foot.
One of the suspects was arrested right away. The second suspect, according to police, shot himself in the head and is in critical condition. And the third suspect was on the loose for a few hours before getting caught. During the investigation, a large perimeter had been set up to look for the armed and dangerous suspect. Later, he was found and arrested.
Oh, okay, wait a minute.
Now we're told the carjacking victim is...
My bad, y'all. All right. All right, now you put up a different link. Let's try it. Copy link address. Then go. Nope. Try putting it in the Hangout, Naya. Let's try this one. Copy link address. All of them. Try to put them in the Hangout, Naya. They all coming out wrong. Let me try and take it direct from the chat. Nope. Oops, something went wrong. Okay. I seen something like that, but I didn't know who that was. Sad to say. All right.
There, the FBI thwarted a militia plot to kidnap the governor of Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer. They've went out with federal search warrants yesterday, arrested 6 suspects in all of this in connection with their investigation into buying explosives and whatnot to go after Whitmer at her vacation home. A news conference has begun now on this, and we will watch.
Belleville, Milford, Cadillac, Shelbyville, Plainwell, Zealand, Munif, Ovid, Kalamazoo, Charlotte, Clarkston, Sterling Heights, and Shelby Township. Our efforts uncovered elaborate plans to endanger the lives of law enforcement officers, government officials, and the broader public. The multi-front operation to apprehend the suspects in question was carefully coordinated and skillfully executed, resulting, very fortunately, in no casualties. Now, before we announce the preliminary charges, I want to thank the hundreds of law enforcement officers who worked across agencies and across state lines, and we are very grateful for their safety. And with that, I'll ask U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Michigan, Mr. Andrew Burge, to tell you a little bit more about the effort.
Why doesn't the lady? Oh, just what she can.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Attorney General Nessel. Last night, the FBI and Michigan State Police arrested 6 individuals charged in a federal complaint with conspiring to kidnap the governor of Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer. According to the complaint, unsealed this morning, Adam Fox, Barry Croft, Ty Garbin, Caleb Franks, Daniel Harris, and Brandon Caserta conspired to kidnap the governor from her vacation home in the Western District of Michigan before the November election. Under federal law, each of these individuals faces a term of any number of years up to life in prison if convicted. Fox, Garbin, Franks, Harris, and Caserta are residents of Michigan. Croft is a resident of Delaware. All of us standing here today want the public to know that federal and state law enforcement are committed to working together to make sure violent extremists never succeed with their plans, particularly when they target our duly elected leaders. The federal complaint in this case alleges that the FBI began an investigation earlier this year after becoming aware that through social media that a group of individuals was discussing the violent overthrow of certain government and law enforcement components. Through confidential sources, undercover agents, and clandestine recordings, law enforcement learned particular individuals were planning to kidnap the governor and acting in furtherance of that plan. The alleged conspirators used operational security measures, including communicating by encrypted messaging platforms, and used code words and phrases in an attempt to avoid detection by law enforcement. Among other activities, members of this conspiracy on 2 occasions conducted coordinated surveillance on the governor's vacation home. Fox and Croft, in particular, according to the complaint, discussed detonating explosive devices to divert police from the area of the home. And Fox even inspected the underside of a Michigan highway bridge for places to seat an explosive. The complaint further alleges that Fox purchased a taser for use in the kidnapping and that the group successfully detonated an improvised explosive device wrapped with shrapnel to test its anti-personnel capabilities. The FBI and state police executed arrests of several of the conspirators when they were meeting on the east side of the state to pool funds for explosives and exchange tactical gear. This investigation is ongoing. Agents of the Detroit field office of the FBI and other members of their Joint Terrorism Task Force, including the Michigan State Police, are conducting this investigation. Agents in the Baltimore field office of the FBI, which covers Delaware, have also assisted. My office, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Western District of Michigan, is prosecuting this federal case. U.S. Attorney's offices in the Eastern District of Michigan and Delaware are and have been assisting. And the state of Michigan has brought related charges against other individuals. Of course, those charged with a crime still have rights that we respect. The allegations in the complaint are accusations. An defendant is presumed innocent until and unless proven guilty in a court of law. These defendants have begun to make their initial appearances in federal court, and the court will be scheduling their arraignments as well as bond and preliminary hearings. Now, it is my privilege to introduce to you the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Michigan, Matthew Schneider, for some additional remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. Good afternoon. All of us in Michigan can disagree about politics, but those disagreements should never, ever amount to violence. Because of the hard work of the men and women of law enforcement, police officers, and federal agents, violence has been prevented today. This case is being brought in the Western District of Michigan. Some of the defendants reside in the Eastern District, where some of the search warrants took place. But at the end of the day, what matters most is that the people of Michigan should be reassured that our state and federal governments are working together to keep us all safe. I wanted to thank Attorney General Netzel and her office for her outstanding work and her committed partnership. I also thank Colonel Gasper, the FBI, and of course, U.S. Attorney Burge. Every day, police officers and federal agents put their lives on the line, and they do that for us. In this case, the agents made swift and safe arrests, and those were done by those officers and agents. We are most thankful to them. Thank you. It's my pleasure now to introduce the Director of the Michigan State Police, Colonel Joe Gasper.
Thank you, Attorney General Nussel, U.S. Attorneys Burge and Schneider, and thank you to the FBI also. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to everyone today. And I'd first like to start out by saying thank you to the men and women of the Michigan State Police, the FBI, and any additional agencies that assisted in this investigation. They not only worked tirelessly over the course of the last 24 to 48 hours, but also since the beginning of this investigation. So thank you, job well done. To the partners here today, I want to express our gratitude for the support and the cooperation, the partnership that all of us here are demonstrating. This case is one of the largest cases in recent history that the MSP has been involved in. And I think that the nature of this case is rather unprecedented, but it does send a very vivid reminder that while we may be in a time period of discourse, possibly even divisiveness and fighting across the nation, law enforcement stands united. And for those who think that law enforcement is distracted, let me assure you that we are very much engaged with taking our responsibility to protect the public very seriously. We took an oath to protect and defend and to serve, and together we will take swift action against anyone who is planning or seeking to commit violence or harm to anyone in the state of Michigan. Thank you again for the cooperation, and I will now turn it back to Attorney General Nussel.
Okay, well, unfortunately, it appears as though FBI Assistant Special Agent Hawkshurst has not made it with us in time, but
all right, I'm bored.
He's on his way? Okay, well, if he gets here when I'm done speaking,
all right.
I will try to speak slowly.
I don't understand some people. I mean, what was the purpose of kidnapping the governor? I understand that maybe some of the restrictions the governor might have set up for the CV. They had, back in April, I believe, April or May, they had riots in Michigan where people were blocking the streets up and they didn't want to wear a mask and they didn't like stuff being shut down and, but this is when the government should have came in and gave the people the stimulus help that they needed. And they wouldn't have had to been out there rioting. But see, when you deprive people of stuff, this is what happens. And what happened was they said, you know what? Let's kidnap the governor and maybe we can hold her ransom and make them drop some of the restrictions that she had set forth. This is what happens when you don't take care of the people. They respond different ways. I don't know how kidnapping the governor was going to do anything other than get you jailed for 40 years or that. But people get into that state of mind where they think that, everything is over. I got to do something. This is why I believe that much as y'all like to defend Donald Trump and what he does, all the things he did right, kill it by the hundreds of things he done. Right now, the people are more divided than ever. You got people so desperate. They willing. Kidnap a governor. People are feeling so desperate. People are hurting that bad that they're willing to do that. People are hurting. And you know, with all the plants, all the car plants leaving Detroit, it's a huge hole in. You ever watch the Shade Show? I've shown it. But you see all the boarded up houses, blocks of boarded up houses. Because the people that used to live there used to work in the plant, and they made good money. And you see the houses sitting there rotting away. Junkies and homeless people. People actually squatting in the houses. Don't have no water heater in there. Don't have no running water, but people sitting there living. But if you say anything, then look at the places like California, where people have outside tents in a whole block, be a whole block of them in a row, and set up a little tent city, but they on the sidewalk. People are hurting. Not all of them people are drug addicts. Half of them are. But some of them people who lost their job and didn't have nowhere to go. So they saw the junkies down there. They said, well, they living down here. I guess I gotta live down here too. I can't pay the rent. You know, we were watching something yesterday, and the guy said that the average rent in America is $1,100. And y'all saw, we looked, and we can't find a place in Baltimore City. Couldn't find nothing that was under $600. Which I'm paying $5. Save $25. I would have to put down $12.50. Save $25. How many months would I have to go by not paying that $65 to my Lord? How many months would I have to go before I got my money back of that $12.50? Not to mention that my stipend would be lessened, and I would lose money on the food if I was a apartment lower. Just to get $25 back in my pocket, I would lose it on. That's why we didn't move. But I'm crying about $625. They say the average rent is $1,100. That means wherever town he live at, I couldn't afford to live there. Whatever cities and towns that guy was talking about, it's out of my reach. Maybe I ought to stop complaining. You know? Let's take a look at the CV stats for the day. I can't believe it's only 7 o'clock. Better keep my eyes open. We got 7,829,089 cases of the CV in the country. Deaths, 217,637. All right, they haven't reset yet. All right. California picked up 3,216 new cases. They lost 61 people. Texas picked up 3,700. They lost 84 people. Florida, 3,306 new cases. They lost 158 people. New York City was on a downtrend. They had shot back up. And got arrogant in New York City. 1,804 new cases today. They lost 7 people. Georgia, 1,265. They lost 35 people. Illinois, 3,059. They lost 32. North Carolina. Yep. They took out Arizona. Got a little lead on them now. North Carolina, 2,428. They lost 29. Arizona, 863. They lost 10. New Jersey, 1,332. They lost 7. Everybody up today. Tennessee, 1,992. They lost 63. Pennsylvania, 1,421. They lost 24. Louisiana, 524. They lost 5. Ohio, 1,556. They lost 13. Alabama, 557. They lost 36. Virginia, 1,844. They lost 25. South Carolina, 1,050. They lost 12. Michigan, 1,401. They lost 24. Missouri, no stats. Wisconsin, 3,132. They lost 9. Massachusetts, 444. They lost 8. Indiana, 1,450. They lost 15. My state of Maryland, 761 new cases a day. We lost 6. Minnesota, 1,271. They lost 6. Oh, Indiana took us out, y'all. Y'all notice that? Indiana took us out. Check it out. 129, 677, 129, 425. So 252, 252 cases. Indiana took out my state of Maryland by 252 cases. They put up 1,450, we put up 761. So we down to 22. Minnesota, 1,271, they lost 6. Mississippi, 578, they lost 23. Iowa, 1,587, they lost 6. Oklahoma, 1,212, they lost 10. Washington State, 187, they lost 3. Nevada, 480, lost 13. Utah, 501. They lost 5. Kentucky, 868. They lost 11. Colorado, 863. They lost 10. No stats for Kansas. Connecticut, 384. They lost 5. No stats for Nebraska. Idaho, 673. They lost 3. No stats for Oregon. New Mexico, 384, they lost 3. South Dakota, 535, lost 14. Rhode Island, 269, they lost 1. North Dakota, 527, they lost 6. Delaware, 132, they lost 2. West Virginia, 186, they lost 1. Montana, 614, they lost 4. District of Columbia, picked up 68, they lost 2. Hawaii, 101, they lost 1. Alaska, 127, they lost 1. New Hampshire, 78, and they lost 1. Wyoming, 193, they lost 1. Maine, 35, no losses. Vermont, 11, no losses. Puerto Rico picked up 526 and lost 10. Guam, 66, no losses. Virgin Islands, no stats. Maria Islands, no stats. Military, U.S., no stats. Veteran Affairs, 371 new cases. They lost 30. Federal prisons, 29. No deaths. No stats for the Navajo. So we had 7,829,089 new cases. We picked up 52,226 cases today. So everything had jumped back up, y'all. Total deaths, 217,637. And new deaths, 856. Oh, jeez. So, Vice President Mike Pence Liz says, BD, the numbers keep going up. Yes. I think the people have given up on stimulus packages, and they're just trying to live while they can live. You would figure, all right, Liz, since you're talking, let me ask you a question. Why do you think that the numbers are staying steady? California, Texas, and Florida are 1, 2, and 3. Why are the numbers of new cases staying high, even though the people know that they 1, 2, and 3? Why are they not being more careful? Do they not care about themselves? What's going on here? Why don't they care? It seems like they don't care. They still going out there to the beach. It seems like they still doing everything. Like they don't care. Oh, excuse me. Rainy. Oh, let me show y'all what I had to order today. For those of y'all that watch the live stream, y'all know what I had to order today. This is what we had to order today. And let me show it to y'all. Okay. Do y'all see it? You see it? Do you see it? Cord broke for the Bluetooth speaker. Do you see it? So that's what we had to order today. Broke. But if you notice, it was breaking on that side too. So it was going anyway. Dave, you go sit down, man. This is the flashlight part that we don't even use of the Bluetooth speaker. But this is what we had to order today. It broke on our mobile line today. Something always breaking. So it ain't no good. But y'all see, because it's also a power bank. And that's why it takes a double-sided plug. Because you can plug in a cord and then you can plug up a phone or something else to it. It's also a power bank. So it's a power bank, a Bluetooth speaker, and a light. It was all three in one. So, like I said. Well, what did it cost us? It cost us with tax for something. So. But like I said, it was only $3.99. So yeah. We can't cry about it. Had to be done. All right, let's see if there's any news on the stimulus. We got any news on the stimulus? Look like he's showing the same stuff. It was 7 minutes ago.
In and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. In and out, 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 in and out. He's in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. He's in and out. He's in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. He's in and out. He's in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. He's in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. So y'all see me snap my fingers singing the song. In and out, 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 in and out. In and out, 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 in and out. He's in and out. I'm gonna show y'all something here. He's in and out, in and out. Look, he's in and out, in and out, in and out. In and out on the field, staring at the baseball. And staring in and out at the baseball, the baseball. In and out, in and out, in and out. He's in and out on the field, on the field, on the field, on the field, on the field. He's in and out, 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 in and out. He's in and out, in and out, in and out. I'm gonna put this back, put it back.
Do you have any other words? Any other words? But All right, I'll take a chance on this.
Trump was celebrating the experimental studies, medical center, saying falsely that he thinks he's cured from his coronavirus infection. There is no cure for coronavirus, of course. We asked the ousted vaccine director, Rick Bright, who just resigned from the NIH, about this and why he ultimately decided to leave the Trump administration this week. I want to talk about why you resigned in a second, but first, before you were reassigned to NIH earlier this year, you were involved in developing a coronavirus vaccine therapeutics to help people battling the illness. President Trump is calling the Regeneron antibody cocktail that he took at Walter Reed a cure. He says it's a cure. It's obviously not a cure. He says he wants to give this drug to every American free of charge. Is that possible? Is that wise?
It's too early to know if this drug really works. It's too early to know how safe it is and how effective it is. It's interesting that Regeneron is the first company that I put an agreement in place with in January at BARDA to rapidly start developing monoclonal antibodies for this coronavirus. It's a proven platform. It's worked for Ebola. We're working on it for influenza and for MERS. It made sense to start it with this coronavirus. However, they're just finishing some clinical studies. They put a press release out about a week ago saying they took a quick look and it looks good, it looks encouraging. But we can't allow press releases to drive our science or our clinical judgment. We can't allow a company to promote their own drug and all of a sudden start taking the drug. So it's important that the scientists get all of the data from Regeneron, review that carefully for safety and for its effectiveness, and then make the best judgment on whether or not that drug should be considered for emergency use authorization. When you talk about making it available for everyone across America, it's very premature. We don't have much data. I think 275 patients were treated so far in the press release. President Trump is one person. He was on more than one drug. Actually, we have no idea what all he was treated with.
They still won't tell us everything that he's on.
So you cannot make a judgment that way. You cannot rush to judgment prematurely, especially as a world leader makes some announcement that this is a cure-all. He hasn't seen the data. None of us have seen it. But it's not the first time he's done this. I mean, he thought hydroxychloroquine and chloroquine were miracles, gift from God, a cure-all, miraculously going to address this virus. They weren't. He thought disinfectants were something we should look into. That wasn't a sarcastic comment. I watched it. I was horrified that I would get a call within a day at BARDA to start a clinical study or investigating how we could inject disinfectants. That was a real panic moment for us in science. And he prematurely pushed the FDA to give an emergency use authorization to convalescent plasma. We still don't have strong data. The NIH director, Francis Collins, and Dr. Tony Fauci have said the data is still out. We're not convinced that convalescent plasma is working the way they say it is, or they want to believe it is. So this president continues to get a small piece of anecdotal information from either his own personal treatment or from some friends of his.
Like the MyPillow guy who was pushing the oleander extract.
That's scary. That is absolutely horrifying. And it does a disjustice to Americans and people around the world who hear him do that, because they're looking to him to be a leader, to be honest, and to guide them through safe and effective treatment through the pandemic. And he has done anything but that by promoting these drugs that aren't supported by science, prematurely pressuring the FDA to put an emergency use authorization in place, and then subsequently potentially causing great harm by making them available for people without the evidence to know who should get it, when they should get it, how much they should get it.
When you hear President Trump say that the vaccine is being delayed because of politics, and that's just politics, my impression is that it's actually the opposite, that it's politics from him pushing the scientists to act quicker than they want to according to protocols to keep us all safe.
What is the reality here?
The reality is it's irresponsible and reckless for the President of the United States to drive the evaluation of something as critical as a vaccine to meet an election timeline. He is doing that. He's mentioned it on numerous occasions that he wants the vaccine before the election. There is no rationale in the scientific judgment to move that vaccine to meet that target date. He is not a scientist. He's not a doctor. I say let the scientists do their job. I can guarantee you, Jake, that there are thousands of scientists in our government today, thousands or tens of thousands of scientists in the companies around the world working on these vaccines who are doing the right thing. We need to give them time to do their work. Remember, vaccines go into healthy people to try to protect them from disease. We do not want a vaccine to cause harm to those healthy people, potentially more harm than they would prevent by preventing infection. So it takes time. Vaccines are very complicated to make. There's a lot of components, a lot of ingredients.
The president says he's just trying to cut through the red tape, that there's just too much bureaucracy. He's trying to push things around to save lives.
That's not true. Not at all. The scientists are working at breakneck speeds. It is unprecedented to see how fast they are moving through a lot of the steps. The one step you cannot rush is the safety evaluation of that vaccine after it's put into people. That takes time. This phase 3 trial.
Yeah.
And remember, these people are getting 2 doses of the vaccine about a month apart. And it takes some time after you get that second dose of vaccine to see if anything bad happens. Now, we hope that nothing bad happens, but it doesn't always happen immediately. So all the scientists are asking for now, all the experts at the FDA are asking for now, is to give the vaccine time to enable us to see if there are any bad effects that we should be concerned with.
First do no harm, the Hippocratic Oath.
First do no harm.
Let me ask you a question. When you filed your whistleblower complaint earlier this year, and then you were reassigned from BARDA to the NIH, there were a lot of critics from the Trump administration of you, alleging that you don't manage your office well, that you mistreat staff, you fail to consult your superiors. I could go on and on. But let me just cut to the chase here. Do you have an axe to grind here? Are you a Democrat that hates Donald Trump because of what he stands for? Why are you speaking out like that?
Jake, I'm a scientist, and I've dedicated my entire life to trying to save people's lives. I've dedicated my career to studying pandemic outbreaks, to focus
all
on
right. You put me to sleep, Spy. You put me to sleep. You put me to sleep. Putting me to sleep. Oh. That's a year ago. No news. Oh.
Breaking news, enough fentanyl to kill 195,000 people is off our streets tonight. Operation Checkmate just nabbed 16 people accused of selling the drugs across Lee County. Many are documented members of the Latin Kings gang. Now deputies need some help finding 4 more accused dealers. NBC2's Annalise Garcia is live in Bonita Springs outside the El Dorado Acres community off Coconut Road, where we know one of the accused dealers was hiding out.
Peter, 390 grams of fentanyl, meth, crack cocaine, prescription pills, all those drugs seized as part of this operation. Right now, I'm standing outside of the home of one of the men arrested. Yesterday, we told you about an active scene here in El Dorado Acres in Bonita Springs. Well, that house right there is where narcotics detectives arrested that man.
We deal poison on our streets. Our SWAT team and our Bearcat is going to be in your driveway.
A clear message.
We're coming in and we're taking you down.
These are the 16 people Lee County Sheriff's Office arrested in connection to a drug ring across Lee County.
Targeting drug dealers that were operating in South Fort Myers and Bonita Springs.
All connected to the known gang called Latin King.
There's different threats for every single gang, but you know what? Every gang, it's serious. It's organized crime, it's drugs, it's a whole series of different things. And again, when the gangs have conflicts and they fight each other.
Sheriff Carmine Marcino says the narcotics unit infiltrated the Latin King.
Getting in there, doing deals, and in the long run, putting them away.
NBC2 first told you about the active investigation out in El Dorado Acres and Bonita Springs Wednesday. All part of Operation Checkmate. Detectives were serving a search warrant to this guy, Victor Tianga, also known as Chino. Cameras caught him being taken in cuffs. Now he's joined these behind bars.
They're on the run. They can run. They can't hide. We will track them down. We will find them. And they're going behind bars where they belong.
Christy Betts has lived in El Dorado Acres for over 40 years.
There's a lot of things that go on here.
She tells us she's over time.
People who do drugs and sell drugs and cook drugs and steal things, and it's a big problem in here.
Says she sees the sheriff's office working to clean up their neighborhood and keep them safe, which is their ultimate goal.
The law enforcement community around the world is the biggest organized gang ever, and we're going to win in the long run.
Lee County narcotics detectives are still actively searching for those last 4 suspects. They know who they are. The sheriff tells me that it's only a matter of time before they have them in custody. Reporting live in Lee County, Annalise Garcia.
Some small businesses use pliers.
About open streets set aside during the pandemic to help promote social distancing. Some residents on the Upper West Side say drivers are going around police barricades, leaving those in the neighborhood feeling unsafe. CBS 2's Kieran Dillon reports.
Despite being busy with people, vehicle after vehicle drove on a closed section of West End Avenue between West 87th and 96th Street Saturday. Residents say it's a common occurrence for drivers to illegally go around police barricades.
People were driving down here like these blue things were just an obstacle course.
The streets being blocked off are part of the city's Open Streets program, launched in May. The goal to open 100 miles of streets to pedestrians and cyclists to enable social distancing. From 8 in the morning to 8 at night, only residents and essential traffic, like deliveries and emergency vehicles, are allowed, as long as drivers don't go more than 5 miles per hour.
But when they're supposed to be passing by, they're going faster than they should be.
You know you're not supposed to turn here. You're not supposed to turn here. You know you're not supposed to turn onto the street, right? No. Yeah, you're not supposed to turn here, ma'am.
That's not all we saw. While my cameraman and I were here on the Upper West Side reporting on this story, we witnessed an SUV speeding down here on West End Avenue. It crashed into this police barricade, essentially breaking it, and drove off as if nothing had happened. It's unclear how many of these vehicles are allowed to be here, but this resident says with little signage, the rules are unclear for drivers.
I'm occasionally turning off of 89th onto West End Avenue because I see a spot, and I have people who are pedestrians who are screaming at me, who haven't looked at the signs. I'm entitled to do what I'm doing.
The mayor's office says the Open Streets program is the largest in the country and has been successful. It adds reports like these are few and far between. It is working with the local precinct and the Department of Transportation to ensure the program is safe. While the NYPD says the 24th precinct is aware of the situation, working to address it through directed patrols. When that happens, Father to Ed Moya will be avoiding the area.
We don't think it is safe or ideal. If our kids were a lot older, maybe.
I'm gonna drop the link, ding. Oh man.
$30 billion. JP Morgan Chase on Thursday said it would commit $30 billion to address racial inequality over the next 5 years, marking one of the largest corporate pledges related to race since the death of George Floyd. The initiative seeks to provide $8 billion in new mortgages for Black and Latino borrowers, $14 billion in loans for affordable housing projects, $2 billion in small business loans, and $2 billion in philanthropy. In comparison, Bank of America and Citigroup have made similar pledges totaling about $1 billion each. JP Morgan, the largest U.S. bank by assets, earned $36.4 billion in profit last year. A wide range of U.S. companies, from Facebook to Kraft Heinz, has also announced financial commitments to counteract systematic racism. But JP Morgan's commitment stands out because of the way the bank is embedding the initiative across its business lines. In addition, the bank has also committed to do more business with minority suppliers, improve the diversity of its workforce, and open 100 branches in low-income communities.
Alrighty, y'all. I'm getting drowsy, y'all. I only slept for like an hour today. Hey. Alright, y'all. I'm gonna take me a nap. Yeah, if I get up before 12, I'll come back live. Thank y'all for watching. Y'all got a mobile live today and came and got caught up on the news. I thank y'all for rocking with me. Feels strange to go out this early. Took everything not to go to sleep after I got back in the house. But I hung with y'all almost 4 hours. So y'all have a great night. As Naya would say, see you soon. As I say, I'll see you later on. Y'all have a great night. For the third time, hit the button for the third time. Hello? And a missed call. Y'all saw me hit the button 3 times. Well, that's my lady friend. So instead of calling her back, you're going to bring the call log up. Whatever. Hello? I hit the answer button 3 times. I hit the answer button 3 times. I hit the answer the phone call button 3 times. I'm still alive and I'm on camera pressing the button, and it went right to missed call. So hang on 1 second. Let me sign off. Alrighty, y'all. Thanks for watching. I will see y'all soon. There you go, Liz. I gave you an early show. Yeah, Lily killed myself, but I gave you an early show. I'm gonna go lay down. Y'all have a great night. If I wake up, I might come back on later on if y'all still up. If not, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a great night. Thanks for coming. Peace, everybody, and we are out.